In 1978, a local child abductor and murderer, known only as the Grabber, roams the avenues of a suburban district in North Denver, Colorado. Finney Blake and his younger sister, Gwen, dwell in the area with their abusive, inebriated father, Terrence, whose wife passed away through suicide after undergoing a series of disturbing psychic visions. Finney is frequently taunted and mistreated at school, but his friend and classmate, Robin, confronts the tormentors. Having inherited her mother's ability, Gwen perceives visions of the Grabber's abduction of Bruce, a youth Finney knew from Little League. Two police officers, Wright and Miller, interview Gwen at school, suspecting she may possess information about the Grabber. When Terrence learns of the inquiry, he strikes Gwen. Shortly thereafter, the Grabber seizes Robin and then Finney, who awakens in a soundproofed basement with an unplugged black telephone on the wall. When it rings and Finney answers, he only hears noise, but then hears Bruce's voice telling him about a floor tile he can lift to form an escape route. Finney begins to dig, but the dwelling's foundations are too deep for him to get beneath them. The Grabber brings Finney a meal and leaves the cellar door ajar. As Finney is about to slip out, he receives a call from Billy, another former detainee. Billy advises Finney that the Grabber is waiting at the top of the cellar stairs to punish him if he tries to leave, as part of a severe activity. At Billy's suggestion, Finney employs a concealed wire to climb to the cellar window. However, his weight detaches the covering over the pane, leaving him with no way to reach it again. As Gwen tells Terrence about her forebodings of Finney's capture, Wright and Miller question an odd gentleman named Max, who lives in the neighborhood with his brother and has exhibited significant interest in the Grabber's wrongdoings. Unaware to him, Finney is kept in Max's cellar and the Grabber is actually his brother. Finney gets a call from Griffin, a third captive, who gives him the combination to the lock securing the residence's primary door and informs him that the Grabber has fallen asleep. He sneaks out and unlocks the portal, but the Grabber quickly recaptures Finney after his dog Samson barks to rouse him. A fourth captive, a young wrongdoer named Vance, calls to inform Finney he can break through an outside surface and into a freezer unit in the adjacent room. Finney does this but discovers the unit door latched shut. As Finney loses hope about his fate, he receives one last call from Robin, who encourages him to remain strong for himself and fight back by packing the telephone earpiece with soil to utilize as a club. After perceiving the Grabber's house in a vision, Gwen informs Wright and Miller to supply the address. The police rush to the house and uncover the remains of the Grabber's victims interred in the lower level. Meanwhile, Max understands Finney is confined in the lower level and hurries to save him, but the Grabber kills him with an axe and assails Finney, having decided to finish his amusement. Finney uses the remnants from his previous escape attempts to trap the Grabber in a pit he has excavated, strikes him with the handset, and breaks his neck with the phone cord as his former detainees tease him. With the Grabber's demise, the souls of his past detainees can finally find peace knowing Finney had fought back for all of them. Tossing a piece of meat from the freezer to Samson as a distraction, Finney leaves the house, which turns out to be across from the residence the police have raided. Terrence sorrowfully begs Finney and Gwen to forgive his past behavior toward them. Sometime later, now considered a victor at school, a newly confident Finney sits next to his crush in class and states she may call him Finn.